Hare Krishna Babuji, can I start?
Hare Krishna. Yes, we can start.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vraj Janarandana Yashodanandana Vraj Janarandana Yashodanandana Vraj Janarandana Yashodanandana Vraj Janarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare हमारी डोर प्रेमानंदे जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय।
हरे कृष्णा। थैंक यू तनिष्का फॉर सच अ वंडरफुल कीर्तन। अब बैठे बैठे हम लोगों ने आज बहुत एंजॉय किया कीर्तन, क्योंकि हम जनरली कीर्तन स्लो में करते हैं। आज हमने लास्ट में एकदम फास्ट करके एकदम सबके अंदर एनर्जी भर दी बहुत सारी। थैंक यू सो मच तनिष्का।
Thank you so much.
So we start our session today. The same thing गिरिराज प्रभु ने कल स्टार्ट किया था, हम उसको कंटिन्यू करेंगे। Start with the pranam mantra. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda। सो हम लोगों ने कल जैसे प्रभु जी ने बताया था कि कल वो दिन था जहां पर जो शिला प्रभुपाद हैं यूएस में पहुंचे थे, और कितनी मुश्किल के बाद प्रभुपाद यूएस में पहुंचे थे। तो हम ने एक बुक में से पढ़ना शुरू किया था जिस बुक का नाम है व्हाट इज सो स्पेशल अबाउट शिला प्रभुपाद। सो जब हम ऐसी चीजें पढ़ते हैं, प्रभुपाद की लीला स्पेशली पढ़ते हैं, तो दैट विल हेल्प अस टू नो अबाउट शिला प्रभुपाद। एक उससे दो फायदे होते हैं, व्हाट आई फील इज टू बेनिफिट्स वी गेट। एक हमारा एप्रिसिएशन मिलता है कि जो हम कर रहे हैं, और उसमें मोटिवेशन मिलता है। और दूसरा हम वी कैन इंक्रीज आवर लव फॉर द शिला प्रभुपाद आल्सो आफ्टर रीडिंग। जैसे जो प्रभुपाद के डिसाइपल्स हैं जो शेयर करते हैं अपने रियलाइजेशन प्रभुपाद के साथ, सो इट वेरी हेल्प अस टू मूव अहेड इन अ भक्ति आल्सो। आई रिमेम्बर एक बार हम लोगों ने मालती माता जी को सुना था वृंदावन में। शी वाज शेयरिंग हर पास्ट टाइम विद द शिला प्रभुपाद एंड इट वाज सो टच्ड। तो इसमें से एक भक्त ने माता जी से एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था, माता जी कि आप ऐसे कैसे कि एक एक मूवमेंट आपको एक एक प्रभुपाद के साथ स्पेंड किया हुआ एक एक मूवमेंट आपको याद है अभी भी आफ्टर सो मेनी इयर्स और सो। तो शी आंसर्स दैट कि आई नेवर केम आउट ऑफ दोस मूवमेंट्स, दे आर सो स्पेशल फॉर मी that I never want to, and we always remain on those moments when we were with Srila Prabhupada. So by reading such books, it's help us to go back to those moments, and we also get we also able to relish those pastimes of Srila Prabhupada. So we'll continue that reading same from the book. I think page number 56 we have to start. So Ronnie Prabhu, can please share the screen. So same way, like Prabhuji, yesterday we were reading one by one. Today also we can read one by one.
Yes, Mataji. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
So I just read the first paragraph, then I think other can already raising the hand. Thank you so much. So we can start reading. So Radhanath Swami Maharaj, after Srila Prabhupada has lectured, he got up and started to walk off the stage. As he walked by me, I reached out to touch his feet because I was touched. I was taught you are supposed to touch a holy man's feet and place the dust upon your head. But one of his senior disciples yelled at me, no one is allowed to touch Srila Prabhupada's feet. Very embarrassed, I pulled my hand back. Prabhupada looked at me and smiled and gave me my first instruction. He said, you can touch my feet. I touched his feet and placed the dust on my head. He smiled very mercifully and told me, you come and sit here every night. So actually Radhanath Swami Maharaj Prabhupada से मिलने के बाद he had very long journey. He met lot of sadhus all over India. हिमालय भी गए, वो काफी जगह पे गए, and from that he came to know कि हाँ, although he is not from India, but उनको पता चला कि अगर कोई holy person है तो उसके पैर छूने से you get the blessings, lot of blessings. So that he tried to follow, and by seeing, because Prabhupada is so pure, he can see the heart. He saw that what is the intention, what is the feeling in the heart of Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and he allowed him to do so. Neha Mataji, can you read the next one.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. Jadurani Devi Dasi. Based on a 2-inch by 3-inch picture without detail, I was painting Lord Narasimhadev. At the bottom of the picture, there was an Indian rug that Lord Narasimhadev and Ananta were on. I needed a reference for an Indian rug. I remembered that there was an Indian rug in a print of Sita Ram and Hanuman on the wall directly behind Prabhupada's sitting place. Prabhupada was working in the next room, so I tiptoed in to look at the print. But it was a little far away unless I stepped on Prabhupada's mat. I didn't want to step on the mat, so I stood in front of it. But to see the picture, I had to jump up and down. Prabhupada looked at me and asked, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm trying to see this picture as a reference for my painting, but I don't want to step on your bed." In the daytime, he used the mat for sitting, and at night, he slept on it. He said, "In Krishna's service, you can step on my head." That was his whole frame of being. He was willing to sacrifice anything to help others come to Krishna.
You can continue, Mataji.
Okay, ma'am. Badri Narayan Prabhu, a devotee, said, "Prabhupada, when I joined, I was only 18, and it was easy for me to follow the principles. Now, so many years later, my life has changed." He was going on and on. Prabhupada slammed his hand down and said, "Then why did you promise? Only an animal can't keep his promise." Prabhupada was so heavy. Jayapataka Swami. When we moved from the grass hut to the Lotus building, the first multi-story temple guest house where Prabhupada's quarters were, we had a big feast and invited many villagers to come. After the feast was over, all the leaf plates were thrown behind the temple, and Prabhupada went upstairs to his room. I was sitting with Srila Prabhupada in the room when we heard a dog barking in the back. Prabhupada got up and walked all the way to the veranda, looked over, and saw the big pile of banana leaf plates. So many people had taken prasadam that there was a big pile of leaves. Using a leaf as a plate is the organic way that one eats in India. There were some very poor young children with torn clothes and sticks in their hands and who were beating off the dogs to get the remnants of food that people had left on their plates. When Prabhupada saw how children had to fight dogs to eat throwaways, he started to cry. Tears were coming down. He said, "How hungry they must be. How would stoop to that? Who would stoop that situation to fight off dogs to eat things that other people had thrown away?" Prabhupada was so moved by these hungry children that he said, "We have to organize in such a way that nobody within a 10-mile radius of the temple is hungry. Everyone should have food to eat." That's when they organized ISKCON Food Relief, which later became Food for Life. Prabhupada wanted a regular program of prasadam distribution, and we were distributing 7 days a week, 5 days for children and pregnant and nursing mothers, and 7 days for anybody without discrimination, Hindus, Muslims, and Christians, men, women, young and old. Prabhupada was so moved when he saw that people were hungry.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
Thank
this is very beautiful
Thank you,
pastime
Mother.
of Prabhupada, which always touched my heart also. So as we know that this is a Food for Life, this is the actually starting of Food for Life after this incident all over the world. That wherever you go in a ISKCON, in the evening, in the morning, the Khichdi Prasadam is distributed. Because Prabhupada says that Khichdi Prasad is the full meal. It has have a rice, it have a dal, it have a protein also, and it have all the vegetables. So it's a full meal that आपको कोई additional उसके अंदर नहीं करना पड़ेगा. So that's why Prabhupada says the Khichdi Prasadam, and it's a very famous, very delicious Khichdi Prasadam which is distributed. And बहुत जगह स्पेशली आई नो लॉट ऑफ टेम्पल्स जहाँ पर आसपास के लोगों को पता होता है कि इस टाइम पे खिचड़ी प्रसादम जाएंगे एंड दे मेक अ लाइन एंड दे कम फॉर द प्रसादम एंड दिस रियली हेल्प लॉट ऑफ पीपल लाइक इन कोरोना आल्सो वी नो दैट दिस फूड ऑफ लाइफ हेल्प I think millions of people in India to feed them during this lockdown also. So this is all about the soft-heartedness of Srila Prabhupada. एक तरफ हम लीला पढ़ रहे हैं कि प्रभुपाद चेस्टाइज कर रहे हैं अपने अपने जो disciples हैं, और दूसरी तरफ he having such a soft heart. Even Prabhupada lot of time cries in front of their disciple that I have to chastise you so to correct you. It is not because it's my intention to just chastise you. It's because I want to make you perfect in that way. So this is a mood of a Bhagavad, that having such a soft hearted, that after seeing those kids fighting with the dogs, he started crying. And because of his mercy, the food of life all over world is being started. And I remember His Holiness Bhakti Chalak Swami Maharaj is also sharing, Guru Maharaj was also sharing कि कैसे जो वहां पर उज्जैन और महाराष्ट्र के कुछ जगहों पर जो गवर्नमेंट ने एक प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट किया था कि बच्चों को स्कूल में बुलाने के लिए, गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स में, कि वो बच्चे स्कूल में आएंगे और गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में उनको फीड किया जाएगा, बट वो लोग उस रिक्वायरमेंट को पूरा नहीं कर पा रहे थे, तो उन्होंने इस्कॉन के साथ टाई अप किया था, एंड इस्कॉन कुड एबल टू fulfill that requirement of feeding those kids prasadam also. So that is a beauty of beauty and the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. This program, beautiful program, is a part of ISKCON also. Anita Mataji, can you continue?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Nar Narayan Prabhu. In the early days, we were used to Prabhupada's personal association, and his association was galvanizing. He was like a magnet, and everything else was like iron filling. All things fell into place. It was simple to be a devotee, to be spiritual. If Prabhupada said, this is how to cook dal, suddenly you became empowered to cook dal. If he said, this is how you chant, suddenly you became empowered to chant. If he said, get this building, suddenly you got that building. All you had to do was to suspend this belief long enough to do it. By Prabhupada's direct, kinetic, personal presence, it happened. If Prabhupada told people to work together on something, never mind they were enemies 10 minutes before, they could work together perfectly, just as the lion got along with the deer when Lord Chaitanya went through the Jharkhand forest. Prabhupada took away the ego barriers that made it possible to see the higher self and to see one another's relationship with Krishna. Since Prabhupada was continuously channeling Super Soul, he was channeling the source of everyone's well-being. He had all the information. When Prabhupada went to another temple, everyone tried to maintain the standard. But being what we were, it would gradually sink down. When Prabhupada came back, all of a sudden, there was excitement and everything worked again. In those days, we imagined that Prabhupada would always go from temple to temple, keeping us revived.
Yes, Mataji, you can continue.
Okay, Mataji. Govind Devi Dasi. Several times when I bought Prabhupada's lunch plate in with sabji, rice, dal and chapatis, he said, when I was in India, everything told me, oh Swamiji, don't go to America. In America, there will be no food for you. You will starve. They only eat meat in America. Back then, there wasn't much interchange between India and America. Prabhupada said, I simply told them, what is that? I shall live on bread and potatoes. I thought I would be living on bread and potatoes. But now I see that Krishna has sent everything, dal, rice, chapati, sabjis. He was amazed and happy about that. Can you please scroll down, Mataji? Continue.
Yes, Mataji.
Brahmanand Prabhu. Prabhupada was determined to publish Bhagavad Gita as it is, but we did not have enough money to print it ourselves. Allen Ginsberg, who wasn't a devotee, but who was very sympathetic and enthusiastic, tried to help. Allen had been to India and liked chanting. Prabhupada had instructed him to chant Hare Krishna before he read poetry, and Allen used to do that. He gave Prabhupada a harmonium, which he had brought from India. He also gave donations and he was helping with Prabhupada's immigration papers. Alan sent Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita manuscript to his publishers, but they rejected it. He sent it to some other publishers and they also rejected it. After about 6 months of trying, he lost interest. Prabhupada gave the manuscript to Ray Rama, who was the editor of Back to Godhead magazine. Ray Rama sent it to academic publishers, and again everyone rejected it. He gave up. Then Prabhupada gave the manuscript to me. By that time, I could see that this book had no commercial value. Every page was Krishna consciousness. I thought, if you are not Krishna conscious, and you are not interested in Krishna consciousness, you are not going to be interested in this commentary. There was no fancy poetry, no scholarly footnotes, no academics, and no esoteric things. I had no faith and I did not know what to do. I went to bookstores and to the library to learn how to get a book published. In the meantime, Prabhupada had recorded the Hare Krishna record, which the Beatles eventually got interested in, and the record was doing well. One alternative radio station, WBAI, played it over and over again for 10 hours. I used to get the mail, bring it to Prabhupada, and he and I would go over it together. He would dictate the answer and I would take notes. One day, an order came for the record from the worldwide publishing company, Macmillan. The order was on Macmillan letterhead and a check was included. I rushed to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, someone's written from Macmillan. I did not know what to do. I was helpless. Prabhupada had to tell us everything. Prabhupada thought for a while and then said, you personally bring the record tomorrow. Tell the person that you have Bhagavad Gita that you want to publish. I said, okay, should I bring the manuscript with me? He said, just tell them. I said, okay, but I have to say something about you as the author. Maybe I should bring some of the books you publish in India. He said, no, just tell them that you have a Bhagavad Gita to publish. I say, okay. The next day I dressed in a suit and tie and went uptown to the Macmillan Company skyscraper. The person who bought the record was an accountant. He added numbers and had nothing to do with publishing. I was thinking, how am I going to tell him? What am I going to tell him? We were talking about the record and the mantra and I was bewildered. Then the door opened and all of a sudden the accountant said, this is James Wade. He is our senior editor. I shook hands with Mr. Wade, looked him right in the face and said, I have Bhagavad Gita to publish. He said, a Bhagavad Gita by a Swami, an Indian Swami here in New York? He did this himself? I said, yes. He said, complete the entire Bhagavad Gita. I said, yes, yes. He said, that's exactly what I'm looking for to fill out our religion section. I have got Buddhism, the Quran, we have everything, but we don't have Bhagavad Gita. We will publish it. I could not believe what had happened. He agreed to publish it without seeing the manuscript. Everyone else had rejected it for whatever reason, and here he accepted it without even seeing it. I flew back to Prabhupada and told him the news. I was so excited, but Prabhupada nodded as if he had expected it.
You can continue, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Atma Tattva Prabhu. I was cleaning the temple in Delhi, and a 60-year-old gentleman came in and paid his obeisances to the deities. We started talking and he found out that I was initiated by Prabhupada. He said, I want to become a disciple of Swami Prabhupada. I have asked before, but they told me that I have to serve in the temple for 6 months. Then he showed me that his leg was swollen. He said, I have a big problem with my leg and I cannot serve in the temple. Can you please ask Prabhupada to accept me as his disciple anyway? I said, you can go to Prabhupada and ask him. He sees people every evening. You come together, you come tomorrow and be the first person to see him. I told him to bring an offering for Prabhupada. He said, yes, I will do. The next day he came with a big plate covered by a cloth. He was the first person there for the darshan, and I went with him. He put the plate on Prabhupada's desk. Prabhupada looked at him and said, yes. Emotionally, he said, Prabhupada, I want to chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada smiled and said, who is stopping you? Do you know how to chant Hare Krishna? The man said, I know the mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Prabhupada said, yes. And he took the man's beads and demonstrated. So, you start like this, and on every bead you chant the whole mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And Prabhupada went to the next bead and then to the next bead. He chanted a whole round and finally said, now you chant. I was so blissful. I thought that this man was initiated. After traveling for a while, I met this man again. He was still chanting and he had a big picture of Prabhupada in his room. The second time I went to meet him, he had passed away. I heard that they could not take the beads from his hand. In the last 2 to 3 weeks of his life, he did not do anything but chant. In the last week, he sat in one place, looked at Prabhupada's picture and chanted. When he left, the last thing they heard was his chanting.
Vinod Prabhu, can you continue?
Hare Krishna Mata. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Can you scroll down, Mata? Yeah. Malti Devi Dasi. The special quality Srila Prabhupada had that set him apart from all others was his loving exchanges. We had contacted other teachers who were purporting some form of so-called spirituality, but who were actually chewing the chew, to use Prabhupada's phrase. There was no spiritual taste from these people. Srila Prabhupada gave us spiritual life. He did not come to exploit, but he genuinely cared and was concerned for everyone who came to him. We definitely felt that never before from anyone else in our lives, not even our own parents, had we felt the love and care and concern that Srila Prabhupada had for us. Krishna consciousness was a process of falling in love with Srila Prabhupada. We were responding to the warm, deep, great love that he offered us. Bhaja Hari Prabhu. I organized the Janmashtami festival and for the first time arranged to make some extra prasadam, like pizza and chips. People who did not want to take the free rice, chapati and sabji would pay for this special prasadam. Later on, I was in Prabhupada's room and Prabhupada said, are there any questions? One Indian gentleman who came regularly and complained often began to criticize. Why are you selling prasadam? Prasadam is prasadam. It should be given away. My heart started pounding. I panicked. Prabhupada looked around and then said to him, if we don't charge you, then you will never give anything. I felt completely vindicated. It is okay to sell prasadam. The gentleman was quiet after that. Should I continue? Okay. Dhananjay Prabhu. Once we were walking and saw a patch of yellow grass. In his famous way, Prabhupada stopped, pointed to each patch of yellow grass and said, why is this grass yellow when all the other grass is green? Gurudas offered some practical reasons because of the nature of the soil, because of too much rain, and so forth. Prabhupada said, no, this grass is yellow because it is detached from the root. All plants get their nourishment from their roots. As soon as they are detached from their roots, there is difficulty. Similarly, we are in difficulty in this material world because we have become detached from Krishna. As soon as we are attached to Krishna, our lives will become successful.
Yes, Prabhuji can continue.
Sardiya Devi Dasi, Vaikuntha. Vaikuntnath and I were the first devotees to go to Trinidad, and when we were there, practically the only association we had was Srila Prabhupada. We kept very close contact with Prabhupada by writing letters, telling him of our progress, and by sending him newspaper clippings that showed what we were doing. In fact, the very first day we arrived, we were mentioned in the newspaper. Prabhupada was extremely pleased at our preaching endeavors. Prabhupada indicated that by using our married life to preach Krishna consciousness, we would go back to Godhead in this very lifetime. Tribhuvan Nath Prabhu. Once Prabhupada was taking prasadam in his room. Yamuna had cooked for him, and Malati was running up and down with fresh puris. I heard her shuffling up and down the stairs, and I was fascinated. So I popped my head around the corner, and there was Malati saying, Prabhupada, how many puris can you eat? She had brought a lot of puris while Prabhupada was respecting prasadam. Prabhupada's eyes got big, and he said, more than you can make, and laughed.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Anupama Mataji, can you read?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Skruta, Skruta Kirti Prabhu. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada spoke about his father. When he did, it was always with great affection. My father would make sure that whatever I wanted, I would get. He said, even if it was in the middle of the night and I wanted puris, my father would say to my mother, make him puris if he want puris. Sometimes my mother would resist, but my father would make her do it. It was like that. I do not know. Maybe my father knew. He was always doing things like that. Then my mother would have to comply with him. Once during a flight, Srila Prabhupada was eating puris and sabji. As he ate, he began laughing aloud and said to me, when I was young, I would never eat chapatis. I was very spoiled. They were no good to me. I had to have puris. Whenever my mother cooked for me, I had to have puris. Even later, when I was a businessman. He stopped talking for a minute, but it was only to laugh again. He was very pleased and enjoyed telling me what a rascal he was. Sometimes it was very embarrassing because I would go to people's houses. He continued, they would have me over for dinner and they would give me chapatis. Srila Prabhupada's eyes grew very large as he expressed his dilemma. I could not eat them. At the same time, I could not refuse. I did not know what to do. What could I say? I'm sorry, I do not eat chapatis. Then they would think, oh, you are superior. You have to have puris. So it became very awkward. Sometimes I would go out and I would not eat them. It was very difficult for me to say, oh, I just did not like them. Srila Prabhupada never stopped smiling and laughing as he described his mischievous activities. Around that time, I acquired a servant. He said he kept trying to get me to eat chapatis. Once he insisted, I want you to try them. I want you to let me make you chapatis. I'm sure you will like them. I said no. This went on for some time. He kept asking me, please let me make you chapatis. I know you are going to like them. Finally, I said, "All right, I will try them." He made me first class chapatis. Ever since that time, I have liked chapatis. It was very abrupt change in my life. Until that time, I never took chapatis. It is difficult for me to put into words how beautifully animated Srila Prabhupada was while telling this story. He expressed the emotions of each individual as he joyfully unfolded the plot of the story. His eyes became large as he expressed their alarm with his superiority. Whenever he talked about his youth, it felt to me that it did not happen very long ago. He took great pleasure in speaking about it with his disciples. Can you scroll down?
Yes, Mataji, you can read the same. Shruti Prabhu only. Continue.
Shruta Kirti Prabhu. The loving reciprocation between Srila Prabhupada and his disciples was the easiest to see in his airport Leela. For several minutes, it seemed that no one's feet touched the ground. Torrents of ecstatic tears flowed freely from everyone except for one fallen soul, me. We arrived in New Dwarka and entered Srila Prabhupada's quarter at about noon. I immediately prepared for his massage. During the massage, my mind was very disturbed. I could not free myself from the pain of thinking that everyone had such love for their guru except for me. I was a cheater. As imposter, I finally got the courage to speak while massaging Srila Prabhupada's back. This way, I did not have to speak to him face to face. Srila Prabhupada, I said, all of your disciples have so much love for you. It makes me feel so bad. I lack this intense love. When I am with you at the airport, I can see everyone dancing, chanting, and crying. I have so much association with you. Yet, I do not feel this overwhelming love like they do. Can you scroll, Mataji? I hoped he would say something to relieve my mind. He remained silent. Tormented, I finished his massage and went back to my room to finish preparing lunch. After he chanted Gayatri Mantra, he called me into his room. As I entered, I offered my obeisances and looked up with great concern because he had such a serious look on his face. So, do you like serving me? He asked. Oh yes, Prabhupada, I said, I like serving you very much. Then that is love, he explained. Everyone can do so many things, singing, dancing, and jumping up and down, but you are actually doing something. Is not this love? I guess so, Srila Prabhupada, I said. So you just do your service. He continued, that is all that is necessary. This is what love means, to do service.
Thank you, Mataji. So from that, we move on to the next part of this book, that is Srila Prabhupada's devotees. So we can have a darshan of Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. So next part is Srila Prabhupada's devotee appreciate him. So before this, we were reading that Srila Prabhupada's disciples were remembering him, and now they are appreciating what touches their heart they are sharing. Gaurav Prabhu, can you read?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Arundhati Devi Dasi. Srila Prabhupada was an exceptional personality. First of all, he had great faith in the words of his spiritual master, so much so that he came at the age of 65 to the Western world, knowing no one, with $7 in his pocket and some Srimad Bhagavatams, to spread Krishna consciousness in the West. This is itself took amazing courage, determination, and above all, faith. Srila Prabhupada had these qualities in great abundance. He had He also had a love within himself that emanated out to everyone he met, which was beyond anything I had ever experienced. I had some love from family when I grew up, but when I met Srila Prabhupada, the love I felt from him was something much greater and beyond word to describe. His love brought people in and made them want to do as much as possible to help him in his mission. His love gave me a great sense of protection and safety in the world. His love inspired me to want to do as much as possible to serve him, as well as to be around him. His presence, his aura extended far and wide. He had a great warmth and tenderness. He was always forgiving and encouraged people to return to the fold when they went astray. I personally felt that I had not really experienced love until I met Srila Prabhupada. Can you scroll down? Another thing was how expert he was in engaging everyone according to their propensities. He found service to do for everyone. His knowledge of the scriptures was also amazing. He was a devotee not just in mood, but in knowledge. He spoke Hindi, English, Bengali, and Sanskrit. His desire to bring the teachings to the West motivated him to translate an incredible amount of Sanskrit Shastra. For years, he worked for so many hours for a day of the day and night to get as much of these texts translated as he possibly could out of his infinite compassion for all living entities and for the sake of spreading Lord Chaitanya's movement. He appeared to have unlimited energy. No one could do as much as he, though he was so much older than his disciples. He slept very few hours within any 24 hours period. He was preaching, giving classes, translating, meeting various people, and traveling around the globe. He also empowered his disciples to be able to extend their abilities for the service of the Lord. There was a time when I was traveling with Srila Prabhupada and cooking his meals, typing both his translation work and his letters, as well as teaching my son how to read and write, all in the course of a day, along with the many hours of sadhana and kirtana that devotees did every day. Devotees seemed to be able to achieve amazing feats, and it seems that they were empowered to have some of the unlimited energy Prabhupada had. As mentioned before, he had his faith that allowed him to take risks in the service of the Lord. He had his incredible vision that no one else could see. For instance, the vision he had for the Krishna Balaram Mandir in Vrindavan. This land was in the middle of nowhere. No people were around, yet Prabhupada could see the potential. He had the vision of what could or would be in the future and was prepared to take the leaps of faith to realize his visions. His disciple would try to dispute him to no avail, as his faith and knowing were so great. What will you scroll down, please? I could go on and on. In conclusion, Srila Prabhupada was totally situated in the spiritual realm, and the qualities he exhibited were beyond the material world. His love, his faith, his courage, his knowledge, his compassion were fully transcendental.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Manisha Mataji, can you read?
Yes, Mataji.
Bhagavati Devi Dasi. The first time I came to Srila Prabhupada Samadhi, I knew in my heart that this is the person who will take care of me, especially here in Braja. Everything was so new and enchanting. The fragrance of flowers and incense, the sound of the bells of all the temples at the dusk, the cooing of peacocks at the seva of my Radhe Sama. Feeling very at home here in Vrindavana. I really wandered here and there and was attached to meet and learn from the Vajravasis, who so naturally love Krishna, and various sadhus chanting the holy name in solitude. Whenever I came back to Srila Prabhupada's Samadhi, he was directly me. At the same time, internally completed absorbed, and he asked, "How is your bhajan?" This was a question I always heard, and I gave, and and it gave me so much inspiration and faith to go on in my heart's journey to become a lover of the divine couple. I felt how Srila Prabhupada gave me the space for my own experience and expressions of feelings to my Radhe Shyam.
Hare Krishna.
Feeling very at home here in Vrindavana. I freely wandered here and there was attached to meet and learn from Vrajavasis who so naturally love Krishna and various sadhus chanting the holy name in solitude. Whenever I came back to Srila Prabhupada Samadhi, he was directly looking at me. Somehow at that same time, internally completely absorbed, and he asked, "How is your bhajan?" This was a question I always heard, and it gave me so much inspiration and faith to go on in my heart's journey to become a lover of divine couple. I felt how Srila Prabhupada gave me the space for my own experiences and expressions of feelings to my Radhe Shyama, watching trustfully and with loving compassion, understanding, and divine vision. Love has no demand or expectation, doesn't see the beloved's faults, and only thinks and acts for the other's welfare. Sprinkled by his love, I just wish to also give it to others. Bhakti means the Lord is coming to you. You don't have to run after him. In the same way, Srila Prabhupada comes in my heart, reminds and inspires me lovingly to come back home to eternally serve the divine pastime of our Radhe Shyama. Jai Shri Radhe. You scroll. Shall I continue, Mataji?
Yes, Mother, you can continue.
Raja Sevaki Devi Dasi. 25 years is both a long time and a drop in the cosmic ocean of the time. It unwinds over the course of a life and simultaneously is nothing more than a blink of an eye. At the age of 47, 25 years is more than half my life. You ask me, why Srila Prabhupada? Why did I choose him? What was it about him? Why him means unwinding 25 years of what now represents my conditioned thoughts, behavioral patterns, rituals, practices, meditation, service, all of it centered around Srila Prabhupada. All of it taught to me by him. All of it given by him. Everything I read, see, touch, talk to, speak of, wear, worship, sit on, sleep on, write, love, meditate on, think of, learn, love, and serve. All of it is because of him. All of it emanates from him. All of it a different cell of his body, a different part of his purpose, another facet of his being, yet another angle of his personality. To disassemble that which is now simply my life and reach back through it all, separate it all, deconstruct the package that wears the label Braja Sevaki and separate one tiny moment in the universal span of time and say it was this that drew me to him. Is an unfathomably humbling exercise that reinforces the depth of his presence in my heart, my mind, my life. There is nothing about me that is separate from Srila Prabhupada. I don't mean that to sound as though I am pure of thought, unconditioned, in full consciousness of him, unburdened by anything but a single-minded purpose to serve him. I wish, but whatever tangible and intangible impurities and the obstacles I carry that prevent me from pure surrender to him and this mission, his servants, his will, those inhabitants appear insignificant compared to what is possible even in one tiny corner of the shadow he cast. So why Srila Prabhupada in the word love? Can you scroll, Mataji? It is what every single entity in this and every other universe seeks, longs for, will give anything for. So Krishna asked Srila Prabhupada to come here and reveal that love to the residents of this time, this place, this yuga. I'm not sure if it is a well-known story how Krishna asked Srila Prabhupada to come here. Bhavananda Prabhu told me a few years ago, and I'm not sure if he has repeated it in a way that has been recorded, but I will ask him to do that in a few days when I see him in the Mayapura. But briefly, it went like this. Bhavananda was in the Prabhupada's room in the Lotus building. He had just arrived in Mayapura. It was evening, just before he was to retire. They were alone. It was quiet. Srila Prabhupada said quietly, I did not want to come here. Bhavananda Prabhu knew that Srila Prabhupada wasn't so well physically and knew that traveling to Mayapura was difficult for Srila Prabhupada. He acknowledged the difficulty with a few small words, nothing significant, but Prabhupada said again, no, I do not want to come here. Bhavananda said it was speaking of something more. He continued. Krishna asked me, please, I want you to go there. I said, no, I can't. Someone else should go. But he asked again, please, I want to go. I said, I couldn't. It was too hard. But he insisted, please, I will. I will make it so it is not so hard for you. So okay, I said I would come. Of course, this is not verbatim. This is the essence, the spirit of what the conversation was to the best of my faulty memory. But the point is that Prabhupada related his personal conversation with Krishna and Krishna's personal request for him to come here. He related it all to Bhavananda in his room that night. I don't think a single of us can imagine what was in the that night. What Bhavananda Prabhu must have felt to experience the tangible reality of the spiritual world sitting before him, the tangible evidence of Krishna's love being relayed to him, of Krishna's desire to give us that love, to have someone come here for a specific purpose of giving us that love.
Thank you, Mataji. Amit Prabhu, can you read now? There were already so many. Amit Prabhu ji.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you.
There were already so many changes going on in the world due to that love by the time I came into its gleam. My own family had changed. My brothers, in-laws, family, all engaged in Krishna consciousness and service, already in Prabhupada's circle of love influence. That love passed through them and appeared in my hands in the usual form, japa beads, philosophy, small books that I devoured and longed to learn more of, diet, cooking, so many things. But they were all, well, I don't know if incident, incidental is the right word. It was all lifestyle, philosophy, and I remember every detail of my life when I read that book, where I was, what I was like, what I was doing, my marriage, my mind, my dresses, my desires, my direction, my prayers, my longings, uh, to go to something and somewhere that was unknown to me, but which I knew existed. I found it in that book. I read of this position, this Srila Prabhupada, and I knew from all the tangible example of Krishna's love entering parts of this universe that had never seen it before. That is, this was the person who was different from anyone else. The planet was ever likely to produce in my lifetime, and then some. What he created, what he represented, who he represented, what he wanted, what he desired, and the beauty of his personality, touch, and presence, all of them came to life for me in the pages of that book. It was love. It was not to know how much, how real, how it would manifest, how it would steal me, redirect me, change me, maintain me. I knew nothing of that. I just knew it was what this Srila Prabhupada person was all about. And as the pages of his life and his purpose and love and depth and beauty all unfolded as the story did, I started to love him. I did not stop to think that loving this person was unlikely or impossible. Srila Prabhupada was unlike any other, and that was obvious. He was all about love, and I knew it. I knew I did found where I was meant to be, where I would go, how I would get there, how it would look. I had already begun to create the foundations of my spiritual life, but this was the conscious point where I locked in. This was the moment I knew it was set in stone, non-refundable, unchangeable. I knew then that I loved Srila Prabhupada and that it would never end. Champaklata Devi Dasi. As a child, I felt great regret that I had been born too late to meet Srila Prabhupada. I was a year too late. I envisioned myself a spark of spirit soul projecting at top speed through space towards Earth, trying to get here in time for Srila Prabhupada's physical activation. But I was too slow. I landed in the New York 55th Street Temple nearly a full year after he had left the planet. I was sad. Then, when I was 5 or so, I had a dream. We devotees were lining either side of the spacious hall leading to temple room in the Davashadan Mandir in Detroit. We were holding out our breath with anticipation. Srila Prabhupada was coming, and there he was. The doorway framed his glowing form. Heaps of garlands piled his shoulders and draped down to his knees. His ocean smile beamed into the hall like the sun rays. We dropped to the floors in the obeisance and then rose quickly to sprinkle flowers for him. As he walked past, almost gliding, head held high, eyes glistening, he turned my way. Our gazes locked, and warmth of love and reassurance filled me to the core. And then he walked on. I walked happy and content. For me, for me, Srila Prabhupada's uniqueness is that he is still there, and he is here for me. I may have missed his Vapu or physical manifestation, but have always felt his close presence in my life. He speaks to me through his Vani, his books, recordings of his conversations and lectures, and the words of his disciples. He gives me strength, solace, and hope through his deeply resonant voice filled with emotion as he sings. Sometimes I feel his presence dramatically when I have had a nagging drop and or worry, and upon opening one of his books and listening to one of his classes, I instantly find the answer. This happened just last week when my daughter and I were visiting Mayapur. I was feeling some guilt for taking our Govardhan Shilas out of Govardhan when I just as easily could have left them home for my husband to care for. One evening, I switched on my nephew's e-reader to read from Krishna book. I typed in a random page number 567, and to my amazement, opened to the chapter about the Govardhan Leela. The very first sentence was this: the followers of Krishna consciousness movement may therefore collect small rocks or pebbles from the Govardhan hill and worship them at home, because his worship is as good as deity worship. I was filled with wonder and joy at Srila Prabhupada's timely kindness. He is the spiritual grandfather I have never met, but with whom I have always been, considering that I am one of thousands who feel the same way, that Srila Prabhupada is there with us. His distinctiveness increases momentarily. Yes, Srila Prabhupada is patient.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I think time is up. So we can wind up the class here. And it was so touching reading all the Matajis just share their heart, that what they felt. I think this is for all of us. What all of us also feel the same thing. That we come to this movement by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, and by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, by reading his book, also we start chanting and we start getting connected to Krishna. So this is the beauty of the Srila Prabhupada, that is, although he's not, like Mataji also shared, that he's not present in the Vapu form, but still his mercies is there in the form of his books and in the form of his Vani also. So we can close this class here only by chanting the Prabhupada Pranam Mantra. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatare Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much.